All right, everybody, and welcome to the AllProSim Super Late Models here at Myrtle Beach. It is going to be an absolute blast here, working the red, white, and blue sim series, the mid-season series for these guys here. Right now in the consolation race, going to be seeing who we're going to be taking to the main. We have twins today. Myself, James Riles, in the booth with Mr. Matt Medler. Matt, you excited for twins?
Yeah, I'm fired up for twins. 75 laps apiece right here from the Mid-South, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Trent Smith on the pole. I am locked, ready to rock, sir.
Absolutely, as we're going to get the green flag in the consolation race. The B-Main top six going to advance from here, so that's what we're going to be looking for, is that 152 of Avery Linrud already going off pace a little bit, but I can tell that these guys are going to battle because it is a big points night, and you absolutely have to be ready to make your way into this race. Otherwise, you are going to be having some trouble, as we see just those top 9 cars in it right now. Kenneth Storkson right now has the advantage as we have 14 laps left to go. You can just ignore all those drivers that are out. Those guys qualified in, as Jeremy Swanson right now leading them around, but we are challenging for the lead. Weston Ward going to get up there as well. What are we battling here for, Matt? If you're in this top position and you want to get that racing out of the way, why do these guys do it?
Well, hey, bragging rights, right? First of all, hey, a win is a win. I know and understand it's a heat race, but still a dub is a dub. And look at Weston Ward there, diving it in the corner, taking the lead. But here comes the 91, firing back, looking down low on the inside, all over the back of that Weston Ward piloted machine.
Absolutely. As we're watching right now, still green flag racing so far. Kenneth Storkson still in that position, that cutoff position for the consolation race. As I believe we will have one more, as Austin Demore and Avery Linrun have called it quits. Let's take a look at what happened there on lap 4.
Yeah, you see the 152 there. Oh, he just loses it coming off the corner. And around he goes, and unfortunately, nowhere to go for Linrud, as it takes both those cars out of the race, out of this heat race early. Kenneth Storkson continues to be the man in the hot seat in that number 57 machine. You see him right there working just off the back of the 13 of Zach Coyer.
Absolutely. Louis Robinette right behind him, going to try and be making up some time. Let's take a look at the battle box here, the time delta, as we're going to go on board with Storkson. And what that green shows you, that's who was fastest last time around. So we are looking at Louis is a little bit quicker, and he is getting up to the back of that number 6 of Kenneth Storkson. So the way this is going to work, guys, we're watching this race and we're watching the consolation race, it's a good time to go ahead and tell you guys kind of what's going on here. Of course, this is the AllProSim Super Late Model Series, brought to you, of course, by Matt Body Designs as our number 1 sponsor. This is the red, white, and blue series that mimics the real-life series that has run annually for 53 years at the Wisconsin International Raceway. So over the course of the regular season, there are 3 special double feature nights which count toward the regular season title and a mini championship with added awards and bonuses. Here in AllProSim, what that means is the red, white, and blue series locks you into the playoff. So it's going to be a really good one, and that is going to be 2 features, 75 laps, top 10 will be inverted for race number 2, like they usually do that. So this heat is really just trying to figure out who's going to make it, and Louis Robinette just cannot get up there right now, Matt.
Yeah, he's certainly not lost for trying, though. You can see him just wheeling that race car. You can see him wiggling a little bit, getting in, trying to rotate the center, and trying to fire off the corner. But that 57 of Storkson just seems to be better hooked up into this racetrack. Right now in the early going, oh, that almost was disastrous. This Storkson almost just pile drove into the back of Louis Robinette there.
Yeah, Louis Robinette actually is going to come through for that transfer spot. Zach Coyer now out of it. Louis was lucky for Kenneth Storkson, as that's going to bring the caution out. Caution lap's not going to count here right now. That is very lucky for Louis Robinette. Let's take a look at what happened there with Zach Coyer. You see, they just... Oh, yep, the 30 hits one of those turtles, those Myrtle Beach turtles. And then it looks like also a little bit of net code turns around Zach Coyer. Not sure what happened with Robinette. It looks like he just lost it coming off the corner there after Coyer had found himself. So that is going to be interesting now. Let's take a look at how much time we have left. 4 minutes and 30 seconds. That should be plenty of time, Matt, you think, to finish this thing up and give Louis an opportunity to get up there?
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. And that's the beauty of these heat races, right? Caution laps do not count. Gonna give a chance here to get this field re-racked, restacked, give Louis Robinette another shot, as well as now Austin Moore on the outside looking in that 8th place position as well. Zach Coyer, Kenneth Storkson continues to be the man in the hot seat, though. Or I'm sorry, Zach Coyer continues to be the man in the hot seat. Storkson bumps up now to 5th with this first incident of heat race number 1.
Absolutely, as we are watching the choose cone in effect. Going to be coming around next time by, so they were testing out, seeing where they were going to go as a choose cone in this series. Love my little choose cone drone there. I'm going to take that from Bristol Dirt. I don't know if you guys were able to see that, but that was a pretty neat little thing they did. You can't put the little marker they usually have out there, so they had a drone with lights on it showing where they were going to be. Yeah. So there they go.
James, it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that, James. I was going to mention that myself. You beat me to it.
Yeah, I love that little guy. I may have had a few beers at Bristol, and he was my little buddy. I was watching him at the race there live. That was a good time. As they have chosen from here on out, going to try and get this thing figured out right now.
Yeah, as that Pace truck goes ahead, pulls back off, makes that hard left-hand turn down pit road. Cliff, if you're listening, man, embrace your inner choose drone here tonight, man. We sure could use you up here in the booth. Is that 5's going to go ahead and mash on the loud pedal, climbing up through the gearbox. What a restart there by Reston Ward. His car just rips and grips, and look at him rotating the bottom of this racetrack. That 5 machine is hooked up in bad fast, continues to lead here out in front. Going back to the transfer spot, though, that 6th position, that is the money spot there. Kenneth Storkson owns it. Louis Robinette in that 30 machine wants it. But is that damage going to affect him from that last incident on the racetrack? You can see a little bit of damage on the nose of that SRT Challenger.
Absolutely. Not going to do it. Not going to be able to make it, unfortunately, for Louis Robinette, as he had made it through Zach Coyer and Kenneth Storkson and just unable to finish it out. So here we are. Now we are ready to get started on our first twin of the night. Our first twin 75. As we're going to see all these guys get figured out. As let's take a look at our qualifying results, and this will show you about where everyone lined up. And we'll go over some of the different things about the track that we haven't already. There we go, Trent Smith, really quick time there. Christian Angel, Corey Rogers, Anthony Donta, Jeremy Swanson, Justin Blackdeer, Wally Wilson, Jeremy Bingham, Aaron Hicks, Ethan Wolf there in the top 10. So it's going to show you about where everybody landed. On that C main, or that heat number 1, I apologize, that top 6 advancing, of course, Weston Ward, Jeremy Swanson, Ed Papanow, Michael Berner, Zach Coyer, and Kenneth Storkson able to make it. Those that did not, Louis Robinette, Austin Demore, and Avery Linrod. As they're getting ready to go here, Matt, you had something to say?
Yeah, and anytime, this type of racing, when you're sitting there on the back of your hauler or your trailer, watching everyone race, continuing on throughout the night, it puts a pit in your stomach. And tonight, with the implications on the line, it just hurts that much more for these drivers. So, just unfortunate that they're out early, but the show must go on, and hopefully you guys at home are alive for 75 laps here. The first one, remember, we got twins tonight. We're going to do this once more time. We got to get through the first one first, though, as those lights are out on that iRacing.com Chevrolet Silverado.
Absolutely. Matt Vaudy up front, Travis Wright, Ethan Wolf, Wally Wilson, Anthony Donta, then Jeremy Bingham in your top 6.
Kristen Angel, Justin Blackdeer, Corey Rogers, and Trent Smith going to round out the top 10.
Then we have Garrett Stratoka, Zach Coyer falling back here, Brett McCoy. All these guys are trying to back off from the LCQ. That's what's happening right now, just so everyone knows. There's not a caution. They're just trying to get this thing settled up. Because of the way they had to do this through iRacing, they had to go through iRacing's silly little system there. That's why everything's switching up. Why our grid is going to be absolutely wrong. But I will not show you the grid. What I am going to show you is our overall championship points for this series. And Corey Rogers has a astounding 785 points, followed by Zach Coyer and Alex Papini, Weston Ward, Jeff Dillon. So those are your guys to watch, as we have a 3-way tie for 4th at 660 points. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep showing you guys about where everybody's at. So there you go. Green flag is out. Travis Wright, Matt Vaudy taking it off and give the advantage to that number 10 of Travis Wright on the inside here at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, Travis Wright has to carry the torch, but Vaudy, he was working the high side of the racetrack. He's still up there working the top as we're going on board with Travis Wright, the 10, looking back at that number 7 machine, getting some pressure now from, I believe that's going to be the 69 of Wally Wilson there working the bottom. He's going to get the position as the 89 is going to clear the spot, move him up to P2.
Absolutely. Wally Wilson has been in it for a lot of these races, just unfortunately hasn't been able to pull the trigger and finish, other than a top 3 finish last week, as we got wrecked in the back. Huge incident involving Zach Coyer. Zach Coyer, Brett McCoy.
Tristan Swanson involved. So that didn't take long, as we kind of went nitro circus there, as one of those cars was up on 2 wheels.
Take a look here, looking at the number 1. Oh, just gets loose and comes down into the 77.
And you see the debris go flying, as the one's going to get caught up in it, has nowhere to go. And just like that, multiple cars involved here in the first caution flag sequence of the evening, right here from the heart of the South at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina Speedway.
Absolutely, as we go on board with Zach Coyer here. Just nothing you can do there, honestly.
James, that's some excellent camera work there, taking us on board, just showing all of our viewers at home what these drivers see. Sometimes from our angle, it looks like, hey, we initially think, hey, we could have done something to avoid that. But the minute you go on board, that completely changes your perspective. And just like you said, just no time to react. And it's unfortunate here as we're, basically only a couple laps into this one, as we're now working lap number 5 under caution. That pace truck out front leading the field once again.
Absolutely, as we're going to be coming to the choose here pretty quick. And another thing to remember for these guys, you can pack this thing up, get the team working on the car, because you've got another twin coming up. You've got another race, 4 points. So if you get pushed out of this one, you're not able to finish this race due to your car being so junked. Well, guess what? You've got a magical crew in the back that is going to get your car ready to rock, as they're going to get a new car by that second feature. So you kind of sit this one out, go get yourself a hot dog, and come back to it, as we are right now got the one to go. Choose cone being made. Let's take a look at our choose drone there, see where everybody's going to decide to go. Bottom heavily favored here, Matt. Why is that?
Shortest way around the racetrack, if I had to guess. This is my first time here at the virtual Myrtle Beach Speedway, but that would be my initial intuition, James.
Absolutely, shortest way around, and of course on a flat track like this, you want to have all the opportunity to get up and get into it. As there goes Travis Wright, he's off to the races. Wally Wilson trying to hold off on that outside, use everything he can to get out, but going to have to make the decision where he's going to want to back out of it before that bottom lane closes off. But nothing doing right now as Ethan Wolf unable to capitalize to take that second position away. Matt Body back there dancing with Anthony Donza, as we are 2 by 2 from second on back here as Ethan Wolf wants to get to the outside, but nothing doing. Now Body has to hold off that 051 of Anthony Donta. Is Jeremy Bingham working his way as well.
Yeah, Body now finds himself back in 4th position here, losing a couple spots here off the initial start of the race. Car seems like it's working okay for him, though. This seems to be one of those rhythmic racetracks where you just got to get into your rhythm and let these tires come up to temperature, the brakes as well. And that is really what you know with the piece of equipment you have out here tonight. His Body now still finds himself under pressure from Anthony Donta in that 05 machine, now working the top side of the racetrack.
Absolutely. As folks, we would like to remind you we are watching this thing live. Folks are racing right now. We know we're missing. Oh, Steve Wright going to get a little bit bent out of shape. Caution will come out for that. But we are watching live, so be sure you comment. I see you, Pepini. I'm not going to repeat it, but hey, man, I get it. Get it cheering on your best friend there. A little jostling around, but go ahead and cheer on your folks, guys. It makes them go a little bit faster if you mention their name, believe it or not. Just gets into the wall. 01 helps him around, but not much he could have done. That's Jeremy Swanson. Did really well in his feature, in his heat. Let's take a look here on what Swanson saw.
Go on board here, looking out the front windshield here. Everything's all well right now, but not for long. Coming off the corner, you see the plumes of smoke here. These guys are just getting every piece of the racetrack utilized.
Oh, yeah, we miscalled it. That was Ed Papanow who helped him around.
Yeah, I was perplexed there for a minute because I was like, hey, that's not what we initially had said in the broadcast. But hey, like everyone, we're human too. We can make some mistakes. And the 61 there just snaps back into the wall a little bit there. And once again, nowhere to go. Just catches the back of that race car. And these super modifieds, they are wide. Kind of like the old Pontiac Grand Prix from back in the day. The trademark term was wider is better. And sometimes you got that big race car out there on the racetrack. Kind of takes up a little more real estate, and sometimes you just have nowhere to go. Couldn't thread the needle, and contact is made. It's that Chevrolet Silverado back out in front of the field again. Your leader, no change at the point. Travis Wright continues to carry the torch.
There's choose cone going on right now. Drivers have to make their decision before they get to that flag stand of where they want to go. You determine if you're going to get some track position here. Lap 15 of 75. Zach Coffin says, let's go Frevert. As Wally Wilson still on that outside. Ethan Wolf, Matt Votty. Bottom row number 2 is Wally Wilson gets a huge advantage coming on the outside, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to get in front of Wright here.
Yeah, Wally got a great restart there, walking the top of the racetrack. Look at the power move by Wilson. I thought Wright was going to get him there as he had the better position coming through the corner, but able to utilize that power on the top and just get a run. Wally Wilson to the point now, takes over the top spot, up 5 positions, I might add. Is now Travis Wright back to second, Ethan Wolf in third. Anthony Dada in fourth, and Matt Body is your top 5 as they run right now. I know we're single file, James, but look how tight this racing action is. You want to the first bit of 2x2 right there is going to be the 17 machine of Corey Rogers going at it with Jeremy Bingham.
Yeah, both 17s going in it right now, with the 3 and the 7 going to get in there. That's a lucky 777s there as they get by. No issues so far, I suppose. Is that inside line, and as this track wears on, because it's so flat, but because it is that surface that we see there, it's going to get more rubber down, and it's going to get a little more tacky as we're going to see these drivers get better launches like Wally Wilson did there. As Matt Body's still not giving up that 5th position.
No, he's not. And if you're looking for your lottery numbers, look no further than 5th, 6th, and 7th place. Is you got the 17, the 7, and the 0-17 all duking it out right now. They're on the racetrack.
As we're on board with Corey Rogers, I want to show you kind of what they're dealing with. That left side, those turtles are no joke. All it takes is just it takes pretty much one of your tires out of the equation as far as traction is concerned in the part where you really, really need it. So you got to be careful when you go down below that line. And of course, on the other side of the track, you've got a wall there. So these drivers having to do all they can on that side of things. As Anthony Donta working on Travis Wright for 4th. Let's go down a little bit farther through here, highlight some other drivers. Jeremy Bingham and Michael Lostick working for 9th. Then we have Justin Blackdeer, Jeremy Swanson side by side. Mark Ververt has been shouted out in the comments, and since then he's gained a couple of positions, guys. I'm telling you, they go a little bit faster when they know they're cheering for you. As Matt Body is still falling back there in the front, down 4 positions so far. As Corey Rogers gets to that inside, he's going to have to find a place to get down and stop him bleeding there, Matt.
Yeah, Corey Rogers gets into him, save it. What a recovery there by Matt Body. Trouble on the racetrack. That 009 machine is around. I believe that's being piloted by Michael Brenner.
Yeah, let's see what happened here. Yep, got those turtles.
And those turtles remind me, of the same type of turtles you have at COTA, or as Tony likes to call them, sausage sticks. And you catch those things just right, and it can really disrupt the balance of that race car and just launch it up in the air. But how about that save by the 7 of Matt Body? That had disaster written all over it. He's able to corral that race car and keep it out of the fence.
Yeah, absolutely. This happened at the exact same time that the other incident did. Is that 3 gets in there and just gets that save. See those hands seesawing in that window there. Absolutely fantastic shot. I tell you, the guys at the front can save these things from ding near extinction. And that's what I love to watch about these guys here at the AllProSim Super Late Model. That, the car counts, the racing, the rules they've got figured out. It is absolutely a blast calling these guys. And a lot of these guys real racers. We talk about it every week. But a lot of these guys, well, we're all real racers, Matt. But a lot of these guys racing on your local tracks around the world as well as around the United States here, notably the Rockford Speedway closing down this year. They want to always reach out and tell people, go to your local tracks, support your local drivers. This is a hobby, it's an expensive one, and you don't make money as an owner of the track either, guys, but if you go down there and you show them the support, they can at least keep this thing going for generations, and that's what we're trying to do. So Rockford Speedway in his last season, you can go check them out. That's I believe we're choosing right now, and Wally Wilson chose the top.
Wally Wilson going to the top side of the racetrack, another believer in the top group, just like Matt Body working his tail off trying to get that top group to come in as well there, as he now finds himself back in, I believe, the 6th or 7th place position, a few back from where he started. But Wally Wilson going with the top as that pace truck comes in. They're working through the 3-4 complex here. Going to go back to the live side of things, and here we go. What a restart by Wally Rockin' Wilson as he just sends that car into the corner. That was impressive.
Absolutely. Got ready to launch there. Travis Wright sleeping on that inside lane. Gonna really hurt everybody behind him that was on that inside lane. And as he was trying to keep Wally, it seems like in his front. Oh, big wreck.
Oh, that is a 5-alarm pile up there. The 495 around DC. Oh, hold the brake there, 61. Almost got a little extracurricular activities there after the main event popped off. As Tony likes to say, boom goes the dynamite. We're taking a look here into the replay. See the 99 working the bottom side of the racetrack. James is going to slow it down and just ever so slightly kisses the quarter panel of that 51 Bass Pro Shops machine. And then you start to see the reaction there. The accordion starts to compress, and everyone just pile drives in and ricochets off of each other. Take a look at this once again here, going up top to the blimp. 99 makes the initial contact with the 51. Now watch all that energy. It has to dissipate somewhere. Oh!
And I don't think a single driver made it through there other than...
I don't either.
Possibly, if you count this making it through, let's take a look on board Kenneth Storson's ride.
Yeah, that's going to be the 57, folks. Watch this. Oh, my.
Yeah, barely made it through with no issues there. That blue double bowl machine, which, you know, he made it in through the last chance qualifier, so luck be a lady for him tonight.
Yeah, he probably got a magic rabbit's foot in that hot rod, because my goodness, I guarantee if we go on board or key him up right now, ask him if he wants to do that again, and he will certainly say no, thank you. Under caution yet once again here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. The racing action has been top shelf, just what you'd come to expect out of these guys. And like James was saying, support your local short tracks, guys. It is a dying breed. They are just collapsing so quickly all over the country. But you show them some love and they will show you some love back. You re-rack them, restack them, get ready to go back. The green flag racing. That's 69. Wally Wilson's going to take him back to the green flag. It's another great restart. Evan Wolf, Travis Wright, Corey Rogers, and Anthony Tata. That's your top 5. Oh, and once again, we have calamity strikes on the restart, or calamity starts on the racetrack just after the restart. Because I believe the 52 there of Jeff Dillon, he's going to be involved. And I think he may have had some help, James.
Take a look here. Oh, before they even got to the line, the 91 comes down off the wall. I'm not even sure who the 90, that's Jeremy Swanson. Jeremy Swanson, luck ran out because we talked about it, most likely. Let's take a look at what happened here. If he thought he was clear or not, as we're going to take a look from our fan camera here we have in the stands. Just possibly get to the wall.
I guarantee he probably thought he was clear and he wasn't. He just drives right across the nose of that 52 of Jeff Dillon.
Yeah, absolutely. But I tell you what, Travis Wright doesn't have to worry about it anymore, and that's restarts from the inside. We're going to be going single file from the rest of the way to get this thing a little bit more moving so we can get to that second heat, guys, because we have two. We have 2 heats going on, or 2 features, I'm sorry, not 2 heats, 2 features, 75 lap features, twins, Basil, twins. Let's take a look a little bit about the race info while we're waiting for them to get started. The red, white, and blue mid-season series, if I didn't tell you before, or if you weren't here, it's a little bit of a mid-season championship they do to lock yourself into the playoffs. One way to do that is by coming here to Myrtle Beach and racing in this red, white, and blue series. 64 degrees. Oh, it's nice and cool in Florida, Matt.
Well, this is in Florida. This is Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, but it's pretty close. So this is going to be right on.
Same zip code. Yeah, messed that one up pretty good there. But it had pretty cool there in South Carolina is what I meant to say. 85-degree track temperature. That's going to be really good for these tires, Matt.
Yeah, I was gonna say you couldn't ask for a more ideal temperature out there on the racetrack, but still, just goes to show you, even when it's 60 degrees outside, that asphalt can still really get some heat in it. But like you said, that's really gonna help these cars really maximize their grip as they let it rip here one more time back under green flag. No shocker, Wally Wilson shoots out of a cannon here as we go charging down the turns 1 and 2. Getting a great shot of those turtles there. You can see just how massive they are and why they upset these race cars so much. Ethan Wolf in second, Travis Wright in that 10 machine in third. Going back around that 17 car right there, that's Jeremy Brigham in that 8th place position under some duress right now. As we start to fan out here, the 57, there he is, Zach Boyer in that 15th spot. He's getting challenged right now, I believe, by Aaron Hicks. He's going to complete the pass. Red Pompano as well. Oh!
Fred McCoy's going to get in there. The reason I came down here, I was going to look at Mark Favert because we do have a fan in the stands of the 99 who that Coors Light 91 has been doing pretty well. One position up. He's kind of hanging out in the back trying to wait for his opportunity. A little bit of damage from some of the extracurriculars that have happened there, but only side-by-side battle I see right now is Michael Berner and Kenneth Storkson still falling back.
Yeah, Kenneth Storkson, another guy that's just committed to getting this top to work here. Hopefully that may come in the second twin here, but hey, there's no short of effort out there on the racetrack as that 57 is dedicated to making that outside work, going back up towards the front. You got the 77 machine. Oh, I'm sorry, going back towards the front. Thank you, James. Still single file up here, but that 051 machine continues to march his way forward, now working on the back. Oh, hold on to it there, buddy, as he tried to get a little too much loud pedal in it coming off the corner. This engine is full of torque, and if you give it too much, it will certainly let you know as you see him have to tether that race car up, which is getting down into turns 3 and 4, starting to close back in on the back of that 17 machine.
As right now we're kind of getting that momentum, and you're kind of seeing that there's not really many places to pass right now. So some of these drivers have had problems throughout this season using that bumper. You know, at this short track races, it's an art to be able to move somebody out of the way in a way that isn't going to cause an incident. You also need to know who you're moving, right? Do you set and apply pressure, or do you have to move on somebody like Wally Wilson, Anthony Donta, Matt Body? Or are you going to put the bumper of these guys and trust them to be able to handle that contact, but just slide, you know, ever so slightly out of the way so that you could get in there? And that's what we're learning about here in this season for these drivers, is who they can lean on, who they have to be cautious around, because it's like that at every track in America, guys. This isn't, not everybody is the Josh Berrys that are going to get up there and take it away every single track time. These guys in the mid-pack, myself included, in fact, I'd probably actually be there in the pits because I wouldn't have made the feature, but these guys, you know, they're racing their race, trying to get their points, their pot of the pie, so to speak, towards the end of it. As we take a look at Michael Berner and Christian Angel there.
Yeah, that's going to be...
Go ahead.
Yeah, look, the 009 there, Michael Berner working the top side of the racetrack. He's going to battle with the 52 of Jeff Dillon. This is right around that 21st position here on the racetrack. And you open the door just like that, and around goes the 009 again.
He's going to save
it.
It
happens. They're going to save it. What a piece of masterful driving, James. Like you said, these guys, they got that part just about covered up. And to continue on what you were saying, you know, not only do you have to think about when you deploy the bump and run, you have to remember, do unto drivers as they do unto you. And if you're going to send it, you have to be able to receive it and take it back as well. That's the other side. So certainly give and take out there on the racetrack. But if you don't want to give and take, then you have to expect repayment. And hopefully you don't use it up too soon, because it could be returned back to you as you're coming to the checkered flag. That's something you've got to keep in the back of your mind. As you see the 17 here at Corey Rogers all over the back of Travis right there in that 10 machine, currently in that third and final podium position. And look how tight the racing here is up front. Travis right there in the 10 machine. Ethan Wolf, a couple car lengths ahead, and everyone right now still trying to catch the master here in the early going in that 69 of Wally Wilson.
Absolutely. As Wally Wilson, he's pretty much is gone. Wally Wilson's checked out. He's got a good gap, and because of the length of this track, he's not really worried about lap traffic yet. As there, Corey Rogers, Anthony Dodson working on each other. Michael Ostick trying to get his nose in this fight. They're side by side, clips the 17. That's going to do it. Caution's going to come out. 20 laps to go. Still wrecking down the back stretch.
Oh, we're wrecking all over the place. And the other thing is, James, your vision is really limited when you're old. He got popped at the end there in that 13. Zach Coyer took a shot there at the end. But James, what I was saying is it's the visibility is rather low in these race cars, especially when you're sending it off into the corner. I mean, just look out the front glass here. You can barely see, 20 feet in front of you. Watch this. The big checkup here, just nowhere to go, hardly any time to react. Just misses that concrete there at the end of pit road. And just when you thought it was all said and done, if you were in that 13 machine, you took a pretty good shot there at the end. Just piles in here like a sardine sandwich. Oh, the 13 almost flipped.
Yeah, he almost had the slowest roll that has ever existed here.
So I believe that was Tristan Swanson that administered that final blow there on the side of the 13. And James, you mentioned the track length, and you're right. This is on the bigger side of the scheme. Over a half mile coming in at 0.54 miles. So that is a benefit if you are up front and are the leader. You do have some breathing room. Once you do get the lead here, and if you're able to get yourself some breathing room over the top 5, you don't have to worry about battling lap traffic right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Wally Wilson has made it to the point where, there's 17 laps left to go. And of course, because of the issues they've had later on, they've said, we are going to go ahead and shut this thing down on restarts. So double file is gone until they get to that next grouping. So Walt Wilson, Wolf, Wright. It's all just a matter of these guys trying to get through here and make it happen.
Yet we're already at lap 60, even with these cautions. So just 15 laps remaining. So it's really coming down to money time here on the racetrack, James. A-Struck doing a little drifting out there on the racetrack, showing off a little bit here. As he's going to pull off, that is going to give the button back to 69 time himself, Wally Wilson. Taking the highlight, and look at that man scat in that race car. That is impressive, the way that Wally is able to get that car to just fire off as he opens up 3 and 4 car lengths. But look at the 1-1-2 of Ethan Wolf. He is able to reel him back in, at least here in the short going. Travis Wright, Michael Oster, Trent Smith now up 6 positions, but the biggest mover of the race, James, is right in front of him in that 18 car, up 20 spots, and that is Michael Oster. Said biggest mover of the race, solidifying himself inside that top 5. He is in that 4th place position. Comers and goers, we've seen him throughout the course of this race, and we'll certainly see him. Guys, folks, don't go anywhere. This is a twin. We got another 75 lap coming up after this. So double the popcorn. Make sure you got plenty of hot dogs to stick around right here with us on SRN. If you're new to the channel, make sure you smash the like button. ring the bell. We have 7 days of high-flying racing action, and tomorrow, right here, Super Tuesday, I believe we have 5 or 6 live broadcasts tomorrow night. So you're definitely going to want to be a part of the party here Tuesday evening right here on SRM. As everyone continues to chase that one, the guy in P1, the 69 of Wally Wilson, who's starting to stretch it out now. That differential over second place, almost 1 second on the racetrack. See there, 18, Michael Ostick continues to roll in that 4th place position. Let's go a little further on back. We got Weston Ward just inside the top 10 in that 8th place position. Jeremy Bingham, Justin Blackdeer in 10th. That's the top 10 as they round out the top 10. Right now, we're working lap 67. Now being written into the history books as everyone just ripping the bottom of this racetrack. You see the 9 there is well getting a little piece of the action going here. Look how deep Weston Ward drove it into turns 1 and 2. Coming out of 3 and 4, that was impressive. He was literally on the white line or halfway through it on the bottom side of the racetrack, almost down into the flats. How bad do you want it? Weston Ward there tells the story that it's very hard driving, given everything he has. No guts, no glory out there on the racetrack, and he is certainly giving it 110% out there on the racetrack. As we're starting to get some separation. Going back to the front, Travis Wright, he is currently in that 3rd position. That Ford Mustang's looking really good out there on the racetrack tonight. Just back a couple spots from where he started. And just in front of him, how about Ethan Wolf? He is having himself a great run here in the first twin race. I'm thinking rear grip's starting to go away here as you've seen a big wiggle there out of the 10. Gleason Smith as well. A little bit of wheel coming off the corner there is starting to heat up around that 7th place position. That 7th, 8th, and 9th, Weston Ward, Jeremy Bingham, and Justin Blackdeer. That's going to be your top 10 right now. Is everyone trying to get another position or two out here on the racetrack? If you want to talk about reviving a battle, look at the front of Gleason Smith. That race car is really used up. And still being able to perform pretty well out there on the racetrack. Is now he's under siege though from Matt Body in that 7 machine, trying to rebound from those early positions that he lost in the opening laps, as he's still working the top side of the racetrack as they go across that start-finish line. Oh, the 5 gets loose. Big time collision here going down the backstretch. Can everyone get rolled up in time? The 17's in the wall. The 00 loops it. The 5, you see, they're facing the wrong direction. Multiple cars facing the wrong way. As everything just got ugly in the fraction of a second. Oh. The iRacing.com pace truck, that's a ghost truck. That doesn't count. As he drove right on through there. But hello, Wally Wilson. As that happened, just in front of the leader out there on the racetrack, was not involved, but that was a big time moment as we're deep into this one, as we're now at lap 75.
I don't know if this happened around the leader. No, there it is, Gleason Smith, and then a mob of cars.
This goes piling in. Yeah, the 5 of Smith is just going to clip the front of the 7 there. And then watch this as the herd comes charging in. You see the 100 machine's already sideways. The 17 to Corey Rogers already in the wall. As we're slowing this down for you guys so you get a really good look at what happened here as all these cars try to take evasive action. The 100 thought about throwing it in reverse. The 51 was there. They make additional contact. Is James, I smell a little bit of overtime in the air here to end this first heat, or to end this first main.
Yeah, absolutely. And to talk about that overtime, this is going to be a 3-lap shootout for these drivers. They're going to go take the white flag, or take the green flag, then they're going to take one lap, take the white flag. If a caution happens in that one lap before the white flag, they're going to rack them, stack them, redo it again. If it does not, the next flag after the white flag will make the race official. So if there's a caution flag, they're going to stop scoring right when that caution comes out. Usually iRacing will let them race it out a little bit, but they're going to go from there. If there is not a caution, then whoever takes checkered flag is going to be your conventional leader, as it looks like smart money's on Wally Wilson, although Travis Wright has been fighting back for a while to try and get in that second position, and Michael Ostick 21 positions up. He's got a chance to try and make a jump here as green flag is out. Wally Wilson gets gone. Travis Wright, Michael Ostick, the only two drivers that even have a shot at it, as the two are going side by side. Travis Wright and Michael Ostick.
Yeah, Michael Ostick, Travis Wright, the 10 rocking on the top, but here comes the 18 back hard on the inside. That is Travis Wright trying to right his way around that 10 machine, but time is running out, and we got caution back onto the racetrack. Did we make it back to the line in time? Is that 13 like again? Does not look like it.
Tristan Swanson, we said his name a little bit too much.
We go on board here. You see Swanson just ahead. Oh, those turtles. Oh my goodness. Oh, is the 100 and Swanson go for a carnival ride here at Myrtle Beach? I didn't think you could wreck that thing at this racetrack, James.
It's just those turtles. Zach Coyer has been, oh my gosh, Zach Coyer has been wanting to flip this car since the beginning of it, or at least that car has wanted to be flipped over for some reason. And Zach seems to be just along for the ride, unfortunately.
Look at the way the suspension just hangs off that race car when it's in the air like that.
Jeez Louise.
I'll tell you what, thank God this is a virtual race, because that would have been some serious cause for concern, especially the way the 100 came in contact with that brick wall there on the entrance, I believe, to pit road. That was just horrific. How is that 13 machine still rolling? I'll never know.
Yeah, that luckily that roll cage seems to be past inspection before the race this morning, as it is putting in a ton of work today. As always, guys, you can be sure, and if you're watching the stream, be sure to hit that like button. That helps out these drivers and these sponsors get around a little bit more, because it tells the YouTube algorithm that you are liking what you are watching, and it puts in front of those recommended videos and whatnot and so forth. So lights are out on that pace truck. Wally Wilson gonna have to hold off Travis Wright, and actually more in danger here, Travis Wright is gonna have to hold off Michael Ostick.
Just who he probably doesn't want to see here in the rear view mirror is that 18 of Michael Ostick. So his lights are still on the pace truck, so we're going to go around at least one more time here and get this field re-racked again one more time. And remember, we got to complete at least one lap here under green before this race becomes official, if caution does fly on the racetrack. And we did not make it to the line that time. That's why we're re-racking, restacking here once again. James, how many restarts does Wally Wilson have to master to win this thing?
Well, I tell you, he's mastered just about every one he's had so far. That's if you take it back to if we God forbid we get another caution here, I'll take it back to that first restart in which he got around Travis Wright, which really set the position here as Michael Ostick and Travis White working on each other. This time Ethan Wolf got a little bit of a better opportunity to get in there, but the 3 car working on it. Michael Ostick to the inside. Looks like Wally Wilson's going to take that white flag this time around. No issues on the timing and scoring. Travis Wright, Michael Ostick in second place. White flag is out. Still coming in there. Ostick to the inside. Travis Wright pushed to the outside. How many positions is he going to lose? Is he tight to that 18 machine? Ethan Wolf, Trent Smith still not done. See if Travis Wright can get a run here coming off the end as Wally Wilson does it sideways. give it to Michael Ostick as look at Wally Wilson.
Wally Wilson drifting the racetrack. But what a battle between Ostick and Wright is I still don't know who had it at the line. It looks like Ostick, but that was a photo finish as Wally Wilson walks away from the field in heat number 1. But the best part about tonight, James, we're not done yet. We got to reset and do another 75 laps. New group of drivers on deck to do battle all over again right here in Myrtle Beach.
Absolutely. As we have Wally Wilson jumped into the booth with us. Mikey, we'll put you in the Racers Lounge. Wally, man, congratulations. Good job on the little drifting there at the end there.
Thanks. It wasn't really intentional, but I mean, I figured, hey, you win a race, you might as well get a little sideways, I guess.
Absolutely. So Wally, we unfortunately, because we switched sessions there, we can't go back and take a look at that restart where you were able to get by Travis Wright. But how important was it to get that good jump on the outside and take away really the opportunity there?
It was really good. I got a little bit lucky that I think he missed a shift or something. I don't know, but he hobbled a little bit on the start there, and I just got into turn 1, and I was pretty much clear.
Absolutely. Well, Wally, another good run. Finally got the win, got it off your back here at the Red, White, and Blue Series. How important is this championship, this mini championship, going to be for you now that you're the one and only?
It's really important. If we end up winning the championship, we get a fair spot no matter what. So we're trying to get that. Hopefully it all works out.
Absolutely. Well, Wally, appreciate you coming in the booth with us, and hopefully we'll talk to you here in about 30 minutes to an hour.
Hopefully.
All right, who we got in the booth here? Michael Ostick. Michael, how we doing?
Doing well. How about you?
Hey, I'm here, man. As we're going to talk with Mr. Matt as you get started after your second place shot there.
Michael Ostick, Matt Metler here. You know, you got James in the booth already. That was certainly a barn burner there. Heck of a battle coming down there to the end. Walk me through that from your perspective as you guys were door to door coming to the line.
Yeah, I mean, I was just happy with the run. We hopped in here with like 2 minutes left of practice, put down a lap so we could qualify. Recently moved into a different residence or a new house, so didn't have Wi-Fi for this entire past week and ended up having to make some changes and just made it in the nick of time. But Myrtle Beach, I always like running here. It seems like one of those tracks where fits my driving style, even though I couldn't qualify to save my life there. But altogether, it was a fun and super clean run getting up to the front.
Yeah, congratulations on the new house. And it sounds like no practice, no problem from you, as you made it look easy driving up there through the field. Talk to me about the track conditions. Was it looser than you expected out there?
Yeah, I mean, it felt pretty racy. It was really tough to pass, so you had to really make the most out of the restarts that were given. At the end there, it seemed like he was either getting really loose or getting really free. I don't know if he was trying second gear or what, but yeah, I just had to make a move there and wanted to make it as clean as possible. Figured, a top 3, I wanted to really talk to you guys, so that's all I was really shooting for.
Congratulations, man, on the runner-up finish. That was certainly just everyone on the SRM YouTube channel. Your fans certainly loved it. Congratulations, man. And we'll talk to you. I'll be sure to be talking to you here later on here this evening as we get ready here to rack and stack the second heat in these twin 75s.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Is now we're going to go into a warm-up here. 10 minutes on the clock. About 4 minutes through this warm-up. James, this is going to give these guys an opportunity to quickly shake down their race cars here before we kick off the second heat and another 75 laps on the clock.
Absolutely, as I believe, is this Mr. Travis White here? No, we don't have Mr. Wright, but I tell you who we do have, Matt Vaughty. Matt, the what does Tony always say? The chief cook and bottle washer of the series here. It's been a blast so far. How's it looking from inside the car?
I would like to finish where I was running that first one, but we ran into some issues at the tail end of that race there. Otherwise, I think pretty good. I mean, we like to get some of these yellows cleaned up, but I know we can do better than this. I'm from a admin standpoint, I'm a little disappointed in the way we've started this year because it's about double our normal average. But we get some of these kind of nonsense yellows cleaned up, and we can have those long green runs like you guys saw there in that first race.
Absolutely, and you know it comes with time, especially these machines a little bit more harder than to control than usual. Now we've covered a little bit about what this red, white, and blue series is. Why don't you go ahead and tell us and tell the folks at home what they can expect every time we come to? I believe it's always at Myrtle Beach, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. It's always at Myrtle Beach for a couple of reasons. One, this is the closest track that mimics the Kaukauna or Wisconsin International Raceway track that the real red, white, and blue series is held at. It's kind of a D-shaped oval, different on each end. And two, because now Myrtle Beach only lives on the sim. So it's kind of fun to come here and have this as a companion event or partner event to that real life red, white, and blue series. And this will be the 5th year that we've done it. It is the 53rd year that they're going to do it in Kaukauna for the Fox River Racing Club. And the red, white, and blue series is it was started to kind of honor the racers and crew members and team officials and whatnot that were part of the racing community that had served in the military. And so it's kind of cool that they've been able to continue that for as long as they have. And like I said, it'll be the 53rd year this year. Some pretty big names in the racing world have won that championship over time. And some big names will win it as we go forward because there's some pretty bright young talent up here. As far as All Pro is concerned, you know, it works the same way, scoring points. Each race goes towards the regular season championship as if it was a regular night. And then the combined finishes here from race 1 and race 2 will actually determine who wins the red race tonight. And that will set the points for the red, white, and blue series, which comes with a little kind of a golden nugget there at the end of the season. If you win the red, white, and blue series, you get an automatic berth into the playoffs. And last year it came in really handy. Trent Smith won this, was able to kind of ride the momentum into the playoffs without having any pressure of scoring points. And it's Brandon Wilkinson has won the Cali Hustle last year, which put him in the playoffs without having the minimum starts. So it can open the door for one of those guys that can't commit to the full 33 weeks.
Absolutely, and that's, you know, one thing that keeps these long races exciting. Or these long seasons, I'm sorry, somebody can come in and do a really good job and kind of make their way in. But I like the way you're doing it, Matt. I really do. I enjoy watching the races every week and talking about these guys and seeing, you know, people like Wally Wilson, seeing Ostick finally get the monkey off his back and get in here to be able to talk to us. It's good to see those guys kind of move through and grow as we get farther on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's those guys have had a rough start, and it's good to see guys like Steve Wright make the show. I mean, I think he's made like 2 laps in the last chance races the last 4 or 5 weeks. He's just had terrible luck, so it's good to see him make the show tonight too. But yeah, thank you. You guys have been doing a great job, and we're happy that you guys are here. We're just kind of a little disappointed in the way that the cautions have been playing out so far to start the season. So if we can get some of those moments where we're both trying to fight for the same real estate and we don't really need to on lap 5, we can get that out of the way. We can put on a better show for you guys, and I know we're capable of it because we got some really good, talented drivers in here. If you're out in the short track world across the country, you look through our roster, man, you can see these guys running any Friday, Saturday, in all different parts of the country. Wally's a ACT star up in the Canadian area, over in the East Coast. We got some Midwest guys, some Southern guys. It's a really good mix, and it's fun to see who pops in here on a Monday night.
Absolutely, Matt. Well, they're screaming for you, ready to get that admin in there in the racetrack. So we'll let you go and handle your business. But good luck in the next race, and hopefully we can see some movement like Michael Ostick made last time around.
Yeah, thanks, man. Never a dull moment.
Absolutely. That was Matt Vadi there talking with us, and Matt Metler in the booth. What do you feel about what he was saying here? I mean, it's all truth from the admin standpoint.
It couldn't be any more well said or cleaner cut. I mean, and for you guys at home, if you the biggest takeaway from that, to you guys, you can watch any of these drivers just about compete at any local track across the country. And if you're in Canada, hey, we got Wally Wilson too. On the East Coast, I believe he races and competes in Ontario. And I wonder if any of these guys in this field raced at my home track back from the upstate New York region, Ransomville Speedway. I bet I can certainly find someone in this field that has. And James, we just don't see a lot of the double roles here having, a league, a series set up like this in the sim world with so many drivers that actually compete week in and week out on the racetrack. And this makes this series that much more dynamic. And I love being up here on Monday nights for that reason.
Absolutely. And you know what? This is going to be a good one. It's going to be an absolute blast here. The second twin. So these guys have figured out the track. The track has been worked on, guys, with this, with the warm-ups, with qualifying, with these consies. There's rubber in this track. There's heat in this track that was not there for the first race. We're now sitting at a 92-degree track temperature. I think that's a little heavier, a little hotter than it was when we last checked in on it. So this rubber's going down into that asphalt, heating it up, and that is what's going to cause this race to kind of maybe heat up, and that bottom line can still be dominant. But we've seen the high line work here.
Yeah, the high line has certainly worked here, and that track temp is definitely spiced up a little bit, James, as we are at that 82-degree mark. We're up 11 degrees now at 93, and this track is starting to get spicy. Brian, don't pull that.
As we're going to get everybody settled out, it's going to be a little bit of a different situation. Brett McCoy going to the back, and everyone else just trying to get set up. Going to be a little bit easier to figure out where everybody's at now, but Corey Rogers, Jeremy Bingham going to be second. Justin Blackdeer there in third currently. Weston Ward, Trent Smith top 5 with Ethan Wolf. Jeff Dillon and Michael Ostick as we inverted that top 10 from the last one. Mark Ververt, Christian Angel, Michael Berner, Anthony Donta, as Travis Wright not racing. That is odd. Travis Wright not coming on the field yet after finishing second last event. Interesting. Is Jeremy Bingham going to be on the inside? 17 Corey Rogers on the outside. Weston Ward up there in third. We're already turning. Michael Ostick. Justin Blackdeer just had the save of the race. Jeez Louise. Because it's so important right now to get these inside line. Everyone is fighting for it. We'll take a look at that Justin Blackdeer save once everything settles out. There we go. Caution's out. Not going to save that one. 12 going to get, everybody's going to get a lick. So we'll see the first one that Justin Blackdeer got himself out of during the restart. And then, of course, this final one, he was involved there too. Got into the wall, and then Donta. Oh no, that was the 12. The 112 of Ethan Wolf. Let's take a look at what happened there. Just too much brake. Rear end's gonna go around, and Blackdeer in the wrong place at the wrong time, and a couple other people want to get involved. See how quick this happens. So go on board with Rick Ward here. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Brake bias. I'm hearing in the chat, brake bias was the issue for that. For Ethan Wolf. So Matt, do I still got you?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm reloading the session there as my son decided to yank my Cat 5 out of the back of the machine. So I'm here in the booth just trying to get caught up with you in the race.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, looks like that's what it was. We heard the drivers talking about it. There was an issue with the brake bias on that machine. So had a lot of rear brake in it. When he slammed on the brakes, it locked that rear up and turned him around. So Weston Ward, Jeremy Bingham, Corey Rogers has fallen back a position, but he's in that third place spot. Ostick working his way around the top side. A little bit of information he got from the last race. How to keep it up there and possibly make the pass. As Bingham is not going to get away in the same way that Wally Wilson was able to.
No, just look how hard Weston Ward is fighting to make sure that that does not repeat itself as caution's back out on the racetrack.
Aaron
39 goes around. 39 there at Hicks. The 57 also involved, and the 14. Oh, another violent collision as that Mustang gets sent off the nose, I believe, of the 57 after some mild contact with Kenneth Swartzen. The 57's going to get a piece of the wall, comes back down the racetrack at the wrong place at the right time is the 39 of Aaron Hicks. And he gets sent to Whiplash City.
Yeah, you do not like to catch that outside wall. Unfortunately, as they're about to be gonna go back to our choose drone, and we haven't been able to use it too much here recently. But I will want to highlight, like, this is quite an interesting track at Myrtle Beach. It looks like it's just a D-shaped oval when you're looking at how these drivers are handling it, but here in a moment I'll show you guys once our choose drone gets released here. He's gonna drive up and show you. In fact, he's here we go, he's gonna do it right now since we got a lap to go. He's gonna run up and show you guys just what this track looks like here. Not the same as a D-shaped oval. That inside wall, there's almost another turn right in front there that these drivers have to deal with as he's going to come back down into his position. Whoop, excuse me there we go. And see where everybody's going to go. Bingham on the bottom. Looks like everybody's doing high-low, high-low. Nobody wants to take an advantage yet. Keeping track at home, that was the top 10, decided not to change a thing. Everybody else, there was a little bit of a 3-car run. But Bingham on the bottom. Weston Ward going to try and take that top side. Corey Rogers and Michael Ostick, same position they were in. Here we go, green flag is out.
Green flag is back out, back on the loud pedal, up through the gearbox one more time as they fire down into turns 1 and 2. 17 Ostick being held down to the bottom. Here comes that number 5 machine once again of Weston Ward. I'm sorry, that is oh my gosh, having a massive brain fart here at the moment, James. Weston Ward in that 5 machine. really dialing up the pressure as they're still 2x2 drag racing here going down the backstretch. That 17's going to have the advantage, though. Going to be able to utilize the bottom. The surest way around the racetrack is the 5 going to pin him down. Must slide up just a little bit as we're still side by side at the finish line once again. And Weston Ward is not giving up, hanging tough on the outside, James.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this thing. That outside line has an advantage only because you'll see here coming into turn number 1. Oh, gets into Weston Ward. But into turn number 1, it's almost a negative apex because you have to kind of arc into it and then turn around because of the way the outside wall kind of comes in. It's not a normal turn. So that inside line is able to fight back, and that outside line is able to get a massive run.
Yeah, that massive run, maybe almost have to apex that corner twice, perhaps. And how about that save by Weston Ward? That was impressive.
Yeah, we always talk about at least one of them, right? At least one of these guys saves save these cars in a way that nobody else would be able to do. Believe it or not, hop in the sim if you want to test it out. There's only one guy in the chat that I know right now could do it, and that's Papini, watching from his home speedway as he is racing this week, I believe.
Yeah, I believe you're speaking about Alex Papini. And he is certainly one of the guys we miss out here. Oh my goodness, his Ward gets jousted again and saves it. And other drivers, they have been through that same process, and it has been the tin lid special. But not for Weston Ward as he continues to march on. And Calamity Corner strikes again. And it looks like that's going to be the 5, I believe, that got spun out into the outside retaining wall there. Let's go back to the replay, see what happened. You can see him working the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, Wally gets into the 5 there. Certainly a racing deal that was certainly not intentional, as that car got a little bit squirrely there on Wally. And the 5's going to pay the piper there, unfortunately, to go on board with Wally. He's on the outside. They just made contact. I'm not sure. I thought initially the 69 got loose there. What I'm not so sure after going on board is suddenly 5 came up on him and got put into the outside wall there. Go on the blend. Let's see if this tells a different story.
Yeah, it looks like Wally got a little bit loose and kicked it in, but just enough. And the 5, and I tell you what, you win the first feature, you're not going to get anybody's. You earned respect, but you have to go to that mid pack. And I tell you what, everybody's watching you pass and they're saying, you know what, I know you won the first one, but if I can get past you here, you know, maybe it proves to me that I could have won the first one. And they're going to race extra hard through the mid pack. They're going to race Wally Wilson, that 69 machine, coming through the field, as he's going to have to start over all over again because he did get credited with the cause of that incident.
And that's going to move him to the back of the pack. And like you said, James, just because you got one T-bone steak dinner doesn't mean we're going to let you have another. Is now Wally Wilson certainly has his work cut out for him. But once again, that could have been a lot worse out there on the racetrack compared to some of the incidences that we've seen tonight, especially in that first feature, that first 75 lap stint. As we're now 22 laps through the second lap, 23 now into the history books. Hope you guys are having a great time hanging out with myself and James here on SRM. You got it dialed into the right YouTube channel. If you're thinking about joining the family, it is simple. You just have to smash the like button, ring the bell. Don't forget Super Tuesday tomorrow night right here on SRM. If you're a fan of racing, believe me, we have got you covered all afternoon and evening long right here on SRM tomorrow. The best way to remember, like I said, just smash the like button, ring the bell, come home to 7 days of high-flying, high-octane racing action right here on SRM, just like you're seeing right now live from Myrtle Beach International, or Myrtle Beach Speedway here in South Carolina, James.
Absolutely. It looked like everybody up until about 14th position there elected to stay where they were, high, low, high, low. So we're going to have the same lineup, Bingham and Rogers. Or, I'm sorry, Rogers has made himself up there. He wasn't eventually. Trent Smith. Anthony
I'll tell you what,
Johnson
the longer this race goes, the more I'm starting like the top side of the racetrack as Jeremy Bingham takes him back to the green flag once again. Look at these guys just fire off through turns 1 and 2, just rotating the bottom of that racetrack. Turtles, no problem. They're still getting millimeters away from them. It's now the 17, Corey Rogers. He's going to pitch his hand to the top side of the racetrack as he gets a great run around that 051 of Anthony Dada. And now he's pulling right up there with Trent Smith in that second place position on corner exit.
Absolutely, as Corey Rogers falls back to third, Anthony Dada trying to make his way to the inside, and that loose gravel that is right next to that wall there as we're on board with Weston Ward. And that outside line, it's looking like if you can be consistent, you can make it stick. It's not a bad place to be. However, you're on eggshells out there. Sorry, I'm seeing a little bit of issues on the timing. Sorry, but you're on eggshells.
Hello.
That body. Not going to be happy about that one.
Yeah, body got vaporized on that deal. As you seen the shower of debris and mud and dirt and sheet metal. In the front of that race car, James is tore up pretty bad on that body machine.
Yeah, luckily we're not seeing a lot of issues with we just got some fun quotes. We did. Me and Matt
breakfast.
did. But nonetheless, let's take a look at this. The Mark Martin 09. Just kind of washes up into the 7 there. Maybe a little bit of net code if we're giving benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, that car certainly lurched up in the air. It didn't seem like any help. And Vadi, the 91, and others just involved here in another incident on the exit of turn number 2. I'm sorry, exit of turn number 4, just before the start-finish line. And as Mark Martin told the young Casey Kane, that thing that prevents you from sliding up the racetrack is that thing on the left.
Absolutely.
Or something like that.
Yeah, something to that effect is what we heard there. Unfortunately for Matt, but that's okay. Jeremy Bingham, Trent Smith, Anthony Dante going to be up there. Corey Rogers, Weston Ward, Michael Ostick. And, you know, these cars, we talk about it, we joke about it, but these cars are hard to handle. They're heavier than you think they look, for sure. They have some good brakes on the super lates. They don't have those truck brakes that we saw on the late models. In fact, let's take a look in that left front suspension, as I believe I have the cheat codes enabled. Let's take a look inside here. Why not? Pretty good suspension there and a really good brake, but nothing absolutely crazy on these cars. So it's not those huge calipers we're used to. It's a heavy car, it's a heavy tire, it's a heavy pretty much everything in this machine. So these drivers, it is not easy to keep these cars down, especially under stress. So something that if you think you can do it better, I would say come in here, but these guys would probably wax you pretty good. But if you find yourself wanting somewhere to race, as much as we see, as much as Matt talked about the cautions, I just don't see it as much as Body did, because Matt, the racing is spot on. We're gonna have cautions, it's gonna happen, but these guys definitely give us more saves and excitement when we see cautions.
Well said, James. And with this much talent in the field, there's going to be some fire. You know it's bound to happen. And I hear what you're saying, James, and I couldn't agree more. Oh, big-time wiggle from the 3. Trent Smith. You talked about big-time saves. There's another one right at the front of the field as he continues to charge on in his dogfight with Trent Smith. Look at the way that the 3 pins him down to the inside so he can't slide up the racetrack. Now he's going to give him some breathing room as they fire off down to the turns 3 and 4 complex. Coming around here one more time, the 3, and Trent Smith's going to have the advantage on the top side. But let's see if that 17 of Brigham's going to fight back out of the inside. Almost gets into contact with one of those turtles there. That was inches from launching that 17 up into the air. And now the 3 is going to clear. Oh, maybe the 17 charges hard back. gets a little bit of a nudge to help him make the corner. Now the 3 should have the position here. No, he does not. Is that 17 just refuses to die at Trent Smith.
What's getting him is that little hitch on the inside of turn number 1 right before you go into it makes it really hard to clear that outside because you don't have the runoff you think you do. You do not have as much of a runoff. This turn starts about 100 feet before you think it does. It's a absolutely interesting course, and while that was happening, there was fight going on all over the track. Everybody in this race, from them back, because of course we focus on the leader, they're still pushing it out, still battling, and that's why you see cautions, guys. It's because these guys want it. They're here for a reason. They're going to risk it for the biscuit. Up front, Anthony Dodds and Wes Ford working on each other. Bingham still under fire. The 217's going to battle it out. We've seen this one before, as they are going to work, and Trent Smith's just going to say, keep it going, guys. I'm going to use the whole racetrack.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't have said it any better myself. All the 17 there of Jeremy Bingham got a little bit of a shot. Got forced up the racetrack. It's worth 3 wide. I'm not so sure that's going to work. Bingham thinks better about it and backs off just a little bit. Going to give the position back to Weston Ward for now here in the shortcomings. Is now look at the 100 of Tristan Swanson, the man on the move, up 17 positions, now inside the top 5. And look at this close proximity racing here, as they are literally reach out and high-five each other at well over 130 miles an hour getting into the corner.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. You see these races and you see them on TV and you're thinking, all right, you know, like, what are they doing, 60 at the best? No, let's throw the dashboard up, show you how fast these guys are going through the corner. Literally up to 123 there from Swanson on the backstretch, going 85-90 through the corners. Folks, this is what you're afraid to do on the interstate is what these guys are doing through a turn. Flat turn in these machines. So don't come in here thinking it's easy, as Ostick trying to recover from getting pushed a little bit outside, getting into the wall. Bingham as well. Bingham was running up there, restarted in first, now has fallen back to 9th position.
Yeah, he gets cast to the outside like the redheaded stepchild, and no one letting him back in. You know Wally isn't going to let it slide. He's your winner from the first 75 lap heat, as everyone's making it difficult for him to double up here tonight, and rightfully so. But Wally continues to charge forward, James, now back inside the top 10, up to that 9th place position, as he sets his sights now on Christian Engel in that 8th spot, just ahead of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Wally started in 10th, guys, because of that invert, and then got sent to the back of the field after having a pretty bad restart in the beginning, because you're in 10th, you know, you're stuck on that outside. And if you don't want to be on the outside in row number 1, I promise you, you don't want to be on the outside row number 5. And he got pushed back there, got into an incident, now working his way around. It looks like Ethan Wolf is going to catch himself in the wall.
There's a name you remember from the first 75 lap set, the first of the twin races here tonight. To go up top to the blimp view, all the 91 there slides up a little bit and makes contact there with the 112 machine of Ethan Wolf, and he's going to back it into the fence, light contact. He's able to drop it back in gear and motor on. But the front of that Camry is starting to get used up. But James, like you said, these cars are heavy, they're built tough, they're made tough. And as long as you don't bring a component on these race cars, regardless of how that body looks, you can still get around here pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're not going to really use the only thing that's important, and because this might as well be a mile and a half for these super late models as far as what they're used to doing. They're used to these quarter miles, the 3/8. The half mile is a pretty big course for them, able to get it woed up a little bit more. So you're gonna use that rear spoiler more than you think you would used to. But as the choose cone coming into play here, you can tear up that body a little bit. You know, it's that composite body. So we're not doing the choose cone. I repeat, not doing the choose cone. But these composite bodies can take a beating, like you said. You know, these guys know what they can take, and when you look at how these race cars are constructed, if something's broke, you are definitely going to know about it. It is the difference between having a tight wheel and a loose one, pretty much in these machines. Nothing too complicated going on under there that you have to worry about diagnosing something absolutely wild there.
Yeah, some might say if you want to know if something's broken after an incident, when you drop it back in gear and your helmet's bouncing off the top of the tin, you might have something broken in one of these race cars.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just these things, really interesting cars. You can look them up. I mean, if you want to see these things in real life, go out to your local racetracks, get a look at these guys, support the drivers, buy a hot dog. Usually you're supporting a small business or generally even a charity if you go there and get your little sodas from the concession stand, as well as you pay that ticket price. They're going to put these races on for you. It's there for the entertainment of it. And even if you can't go, if you have a local track and you can't go for some reason, you can't get around to the track, you don't have a ride, you can't pay the money every weekend and week out, I tell you what you can do. You can go to some of these, Google a racetrack around you that is on Flow TV or Dirt Nation or something like that, and they will inadvertently support your racetrack. So you can go through and make sure you watch racing live, or you know what, here on Sim Racing Media, and come watch us in the meantime when they're not going on. But if we're gonna have a repeat, the way this thing is gone, last time, remember, Michael Ostick came up about 20 positions to get that second place finish. Tristan Swanson's kind of working the same route. He's 17 positions driving like that. Has been the talk of the town, I'm sure, going up through the field. Is Weston Ward going to line and look to the bottom? But Anthony Donza and Corey Rogers now the ones trying to figure out second place, and Tristan Swanson's chomping at the bits here, Matt. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, Tristan Swanson, how bad do you want it in the 100 machine? Rightfully so. I mean, this man is taking one out of Weston Ward's table. No, the 17. Tristan Swanson, who had just gotten back up towards the front. He is facing the wrong way out there on the racing surface. Is that going to bring out another yellow flag? Let's see what the replay will tell us. Shed some light on what happened here. You're looking for that 17 machine. It's going to pop off in front of him. Wally's going to go for a ride. He's going to back it into the fence. The 52 is going to overcorrect, it looks like, as everyone starts to scatter. And the 17 is going to get spun off the nose of, you guessed it, that 13 machine of Zach Coyer once again involved here in a dilemma on the racetrack, as everyone else gets by pretty much unscathed, though, as the track kind of cleans itself and everyone washes to the bottom, keeping those main grooves wide open.
And as we take a look here, it's just, again, the model on these cars makes it. Yeah, caught the door a little bit, but it looks like every time that happens, once that rear end gets slapped out, there's really nothing you can do about it. Because especially when you're exiting here, what's happening with those back wheels is they're trying to apply pressure to the ground. So whenever any bump on that rear axle that's going to upset that is just going to absolutely throw that diff out of whack and slide those tires. And that's, I think, what we saw with Wally Wilson there. It's just a little tap popped him out just enough, and luckily he already got one win on the night, because he is not having the luck this time around. Speaking of, Matt, I know you were saying something, but I just want to get this out. Zach Coyer does this every single week, and usually we talk to him before the race and he's like, you know what, we're going to try and stay out of trouble. Then he gets involved in like 10 or 12 incidents that aren't his fault and still comes back and gets top 10, and that's what we're seeing right now. 15 position Zach Coyer.
Great read there, James. And I was kind of go along the same route, regardless of the fact he's inside the top 10. How? I don't know. But he is. He is at 9th. I even had to check our score against iRacing to make sure I was seeing that correctly. But anyways, the Teddy Grahams Farms machine alive and well, up 15 spots. Just imagine where this car could be if he was clean throughout the course of the second twin or the first twin. But hey, this man seems to face adversity well, as he's still inside the top 10, as we're quickly approaching lap 60 here. working lap 57, now under caution.
Absolutely. If you've taken a look on the broadcast, you can see that I've been able to work in the camera that we have in the car on this Tegrity Farms machine, and you can see Cartman making an appearance on the helmet there. I absolutely love that. That was awesome.
That was awesome, man.
Great shot in there, and kind of the fun things that these guys can do with the helmets and customizing everything. As we'll take a look here, get back where I want to be. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, getting it out in front of more people, more folks, and helping that algorithm come out with y'all. As we are battling, we're back to green. Green flag is out. Trent Smith, Anthony Donta, Corey Rogers.
Yeah, look at Trent Smith walking it out on the restart. Shades of Wally there from the first Win 75 lap event. Is he is carrying the torch around this. Anthony Donta, there's a name you remember here from that first stint as well, that 051 machine. He's got that car all the way up to second. Going back a little further through the field, looking at the Wally, as I was just referencing him, he is currently up to that 15th position as he came back to the front, got sent to the back off of an EOL penalty, and then was recently involved in that last caution. Now he has to try and repeat the process once again, as he's mired back in 15th with laps winding down, as we're now currently working lap 61 of 75 here out there on the racetrack. Well, James, is this Trent Smith's race to lose, or is Anthony Donta going to be able to come through clutch and get the dub here, or will it be someone else a little further back in the field?
Yeah, and that's the good question here. And as we take a look and see the bumping going on there for 8th, that is, yep, there it goes around on Michael Ossick. The luck has not kept going for these drivers that finished top 3. I believe Ostick jumped to the pits after that one. Or
yeah, is that look
on that?
Yeah, as he was mowing some lawn, and then that car just vaporized. You see the 18 off the nose through the yeah, Alt F4. I would say that's the case, James.
Yeah, he's not came back there, but yeah, off the nose there. But what I was gonna say about this, and it kind of tied itself in here. If we get another restart, it's Trent Smith's race to lose. As we saw with Wally Wilson, as we've seen with Trent throughout the race goes on, if you have the button on that restart, if you're the one who controls those restarts, it is your race to lose, because it's going to take about 3 laps for them to figure out who's going to get second. First of all, that's something that they have to think about back there, because they're not just going to line up. They got to figure out who's going to get second. Then the winner of that battle has to fight their way back up to Trent Smith, who has one of the fastest lap times of the race, right there with everybody else, but definitely in the top 10. He's not slower than everybody, so you got to fight your way back up there, and then you got to pass him. So when these caution laps, as they tick away the race, it's really Trent Smith's race to lose. That being said, Anthony Donta, Corey Rogers, this is where we might see some folks try and gamble with the choose cone coming up next time around, or one of these times around, as we'll get a look at it. You might gamble to try, if you think you're feeling lucky, stay behind Trent Smith rather than beside him, so that you have him right in front of you. You can hear that accelerator get pressed down, you can see when he goes, and you can kind of give yourself a little bit of an advantage on that outside line, so that you don't have to worry about finding a place to get down before you go and attack the leader.
Yeah, well said there, James. Couldn't agree more. You mentioned just how close the competition is. Let me give you the best times of the top 5 here. Trent Smith in 1866. Anthony Donta a 1862. Corey Rogers in 1860. Tristan Swanson in 1864. And Weston Ward in 1863. We're talking about hundreds of a second here inside the top 5, and that just puts more emphasis on how much more important it is that we have the button on the restart, and the advantage that Trent Smith has being P1, because the competition is just that tight to me.
Absolutely, and I mean, you that's how these drivers are. So we're going to take a look here choose cone going to be coming around next time by. Pace light. Oh no, they're going to be single file. Single file restart here.
That'll make things a little bit less stressful there for Anthony Dada, as he might necessarily not have to battle as hard with Corey Rogers there, like you were saying for P2. Is that Page Truck's going to pull off one more time, and we're going to let these bad boys rip, let these VAs roar back to life here at Myrtle Beach Speedway.
Absolutely. So the three's playing with him. There he goes. Get going off the turn as the 100. Tristan Swanson is going to go 4 wide due to that incident. See if he's going to be able to save it. Any damage there. Zach Coyer, we talked about that, Terry Farms. He's coming up there as the 100.
No!
Dante gets around.
James, you saw that coming. Oh, they're still wrecking hard. People are hitting each other all over the place. It's like Frogger out there on the racetrack right now. Is once again the 13 involved. And James, you've seen that one coming there right off the restart. In the words of Bill Collins, you could feel it in the air tonight, and it certainly let go. Boom goes the dynamite, as Tony likes to say. There's multiple cars involved here in a late race caution, as we only have 5 laps remaining in the scheduled distance tonight as we go on board. It's going to be with Jeremy Bingham here in that 017 machine. Look at the smoke, and look, there's just nowhere to go. Look at him try to thread the needle here. It's like bumper cars out there.
That was the longest move there by Jeremy Bingham. Let's see where that started. I believe that was Tristan Swanson. Was in the beginning of that. Let's take a look here.
Yeah, that's going to be the 100 machine.
Get out of the cockpit. That all started on that restart. It's just not a great restart by the 100, and then the 51 comes in there.
Ruffle his feathers a little bit.
It kind of powers out of it. That was maybe a little bit of anger fueling. Is he still going? Let's take a look. There might have been some extracurriculars over here.
There could have been.
He's getting up there pretty quick. Maybe not. Maybe he got cooled off by then. So let's take another look from the green flag. We have plenty of time here. He was, his head was rocking. He kept getting hit from the back and then the front, and then finally Weston Ward powers through. And then the 51 got into the 91, or the 91 got into the 51, got into the 100, and well, I was 6 afraid of 7. And then look at Swanson just goose out of there. He's so mad.
And rightfully so.
Absolutely, absolutely. From the green flag, this from the blimp will tell the story here about why Tristan Swanson deserves to be pretty angry, as he just gets. Let's go back a little bit farther. He's just getting hit this whole time. I mean, here comes Weston Ward. Give him a little love tap. Boom. Does it again. Boom. And then the third one here is, yep, there we go.
The triple doink just as the green flag was underway. And that's a great way to boil the blood of a race car driver. And then you can see here, makes contact. Then the 51's going to get pushed up the racetrack for contact with the 91, and everyone scatters down the backstretch. And it's a 5-alarm fire, just about as there's cars scattered everywhere.
Absolutely, that is unfortunate here. Oh, we're live. We're live. I do apologize. We're live. Trent Smith 2 to go. Anthony Donta in second. Corey Rogers in third. Jeremy Swanson there in fourth. Weston Ward in fifth. As we're coming to this checkered flag with 2 laps to go. Final lap, white flag in the air. Trent Smith has it. Anthony Donta wants it with Corey Rogers. Looks like they're battling for second on back. Trent Smith has this race to lose.
And they both get a piece of the turtles there as the 51 looks like he's going to be the victor against Corey Rogers. But up front, it is all business as Trent Smith takes it to the house here at Myrtle Beach, and he is going to be the winner of the second twin race here in the twin 75-lap main events here tonight. What a race, James. both heats, and what a drive there by Trent Smith. Shades of what Wally had to do there in the first heat. Restart after restart. The mastery, you saw the wizardry there a little bit, but nonetheless, the 3 is the victor here in the second as he goes ahead and smashes it off the wall, burning it down. And rightfully so, as that was some masterful driving there by Trent Smith.
Absolutely. Started with the restart that we missed. Let's go ahead and go back. We were trying to watch that incident as he's burning it down.
Oh, look at the stutter step on the start by the 3.
Yeah, everybody was just trying so hard to get that jump and be with him, and then, you know, you start doing that 3 or 4 cars back and not racing the car in front of you. As what is the 12?
Going on here.
This is interesting.
Oh, that's not a good look.
Michael Frevert.
The
But
112 is on his door, and the 99 machine that's Ethan Wolf in the 112, and the 99 of Mark Favor seems to have a little pre-race or post-race altercation here. As
well, I believe we have Mr. Anthony Donta, our second place finisher, here in the field, and there's a theme I'm getting up. 13 positions, Anthony. Congratulations on that second place finish.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I messed up in the first run there and got into Corey, and kind of cost me a better starting spot. But Trent was better on the restarts. I just couldn't get going. It took me 4 laps. So, but congratulations to him, and I appreciate you guys doing all this for us.
Absolutely. Well, Anthony, talk about restarts. You survived a lot of them. How important was it there to also, you know, try and get that jump on the leader, but also stay safe and keep everybody in the rearview mirror?
Yeah, I was having a hard time just getting myself going. So I was more honestly focused on the mirror to make sure I didn't wreck everybody. Honestly, I was just having a really hard time getting going, and I kind of cost Corey probably there. I got ahead of him on one of those restarts, and he probably would have had a better chance at Trent. But that's racing, and I'll take a second place after the way the first one went. Man, I apologize for causing the yellow. I just got a little free off of 4 underneath him and just barely touched him, and then this track's hard enough by yourself, so just a little touch to send him around.
Well, Anthony, you know, it all came back to the end where you got your second place finish. One of the a really good finish for someone who's had a really good points season here so far. Looking at right now, sitting in 6th in the points, notwithstanding the race tonight. How important are these consistent finishes to stay up there?
Yeah, I mean, that's the name of the game. I mean, everyone wants to win. I was leading the points, and I had to miss last week for some family stuff, and I'm not sure how the points work and getting into the playoffs, but I just want to, when I am able to run, be consistent, stay clean. If I do that, eventually I'll be in a position to win and hopefully get a few of those before the end of the season.
Absolutely. Well, Anthony, again, congratulations on the second place finish, and hopefully we'll talk to you next week. Who do you want to shout out, and who gets it done for you here?
I just want to give a shout out to my wife. She wrangles the kids on Monday nights while I get to play in my room for about 3-4 hours. So if she didn't let me do it and help me out, I wouldn't be able to do it. So mostly just her, and all you guys for broadcasting, and the guys in AllProSim for putting this on for us.
Absolutely. We appreciate it, and we love putting on some good racing. So hopefully we'll talk to you next week, sir.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And Matt, I believe you have Mr. Trent Smith, our race winner.
Trent Smith, Matt, and James up in the booth. You got us, bud.
Yes, sir. How's it going?
It couldn't be better, man. Trent Smith smoking them on the restarts here tonight. How were you able to just walk the field restart after restart?
I was mirror driving on the restart. As funny as that might sound. I was watching and I knew that Anthony behind me, he kept creeping up and he would have to get on brakes. And as soon as I seen the nose of his car dip, I would take off.
Tell you what, I got some of the best visual lessons in Restart 101 that I've ever gotten in my entire eSIM Racing Tonight career. Watching you on those restarts, man, it was masterful. But once you got things rolling, it seemed like that car was really good to rotate the center of the corner, apex off. You seemed to have some good drive. Uh, was that just setup preparation, or what did you guys get right with the balance of that race car tonight? Because it seemed just to be super stout around this half-mile speedway.
I pretty much just figured out what I needed to do to get it to rotate early on in the corner and then be easy on the throttle up off to keep it from pushing and breaking free. It was just lap after lap of just learning what felt the best and watching my lap times and seeing what was faster than the other laps. And once I got the feel for it and I knew what to do every single time.
It's not so easy to just sit there and mirror it lap after lap, but you made it look easy up here and live on the broadcast, as that was quite a performance there. As you take home the gold here in the second twin 125, who do you want to thank on that three machine, man? Who helps you get it done week in and week out?
First off, DRW Transport, they're a sponsor for me in real life, so they carry over into my sim racing. Um, my parents have always been supportive. They love to hear me do good. I got to thank my crew chief. He's actually sitting at home. He was crew chiefing me from the stream tonight, Justin Sutherland. He actually is one of my best friends. We're like brothers. And he was helping me make calls and stuff because that's been something I've struggled with since the beginning of the season was pit strategy and just choose calling. I'll be way too conservative, and he pushed me to get out of my comfort zone, and it gave me the lead, even though I almost did trip myself up and take out the front half of the field. I was able to recover and get the lead by just letting it hang out there.
And crew chiefs doing what crew chiefs does. I mean, you couldn't have said it better yourself there. You mentioned in real life. So where's your local track? Where can people catch you at?
Anderson, South Carolina.
Anderson, South Carolina. So that's a little bit further west, closer to Georgia, if I remember correctly. But you do this in real life, and the same crew, well, this crew chief that's with you on the box at the track was also up here helping you call the shots here tonight, putting a little extra foot in that back of that race car, if you will, helping you get the job done. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner here tonight in the second of twin 125s, getting it done in the three machine. He brings home the W. That is the three of Trent Smith. James, back to you.
Yeah, congratulations, Trent, and good luck next week, sir.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for us, I think, here, Matt. We're going to go over just a little bit of quick housekeeping stuff as we are going to go over the results for our feature, which was our second feature of the night. As we take a look in the background is Trent Smith running it through. Of course, he won. Anthony Danta in second, Corey Rogers in third, Jeremy Swanson fourth, Weston Ward finishing fifth. Wally Wilson has actually recovered to sixth. I wouldn't have guessed that. Gleason Smith there in seventh. Tristan Swanson involved in the numerous incidents. He made his way back up to eighth. Ed Papanow, Jeremy Bingham in 10th. Racers Gonna Race. Michael Berner there in 11th. Brett McCoy, 12th. Jeff Dillon, 13th. Mark Favert, 14th. Ethan Wolf, 15th. 16th. Justin Blackdeer. Kenneth Storkson there in 17th. Zach Coyer in 18th. And we have Steve Wright, Rick Ward, Christian Angel, Michael Ostick. None of the folks that finished in the top three finished very well there in the second one. Aaron Hicks in 23rd, Garrett Stratoka in 24th, Matt Vadi 25th, Travis Wright unable to start this race, Austin Demore, Ty Frederickson as well. So that's going to do it here for Sim Racing Media, covering the AllProSim Super Late Model Series, the red, white, and blue mid-season championship. The red race is out of the way. Check the schedule. You can see it there on the upcoming races for the AllProSim Series. See when that next race is going to be, when we're going to be at Myrtle Beach again. And as always, we'll talk to you next week.